Hello and welcome to the final session of the day. I'm Rajan Datar, and you are watching Illume, a new era of experiential travel for affluent Indian customers and consumers for that matter. This session we're about to have now is how to put together the ultimate trip. You can ask Q&As. You can see the Q&A box there, questions rather. You can put them in the box there. Now, this could get very interesting, especially if my guests spill the beans on what really goes on behind the scenes with the rich and famous, because these guys have worked with everyone from corporate titans, sporting heroes, Bollywood royalty, Hollywood celebrities, blah, blah, blah. And, they'll hopefully tell us a bit about that experience. So if you want to know the secrets behind planning the trip of a lifetime from real insiders, stick around. Right, so my guests are Janne Honkanen, who is the founder of Luxury Action, the pioneering luxury travel DMC in the Nordic and European Arctic. He is a true innovator, and he set new standards for the industry at large. You founded the company, didn't you, Janne, in 2009? It proved to be a trendsetter. And the most important thing about what you do is nature, because that's what Lapland, which is where you're based and where you are right now, is all about. And sustainability, which we've talked about a bit today, is obviously crucial to what you offer. Fulvio, the Bonis, and I've just found out Fulvio means red, is that right? Is the CEO and founder of Imago Artis Travel, which is an elite boutique destination management outfit specializing in bespoke experiences for travelers to discover the treasures of Italy. Now, as you might guess from the name of his company, art is central to the experiences that Fulvio offers. And in fact, you studied art history, I believe, at university, so you know what you're talking about. And you say art is not just looking at a painting in a museum, you must feel it in your bones, because art means socialization and communication. And amongst your high-profile guests, this must be on your website, you're public about this, that you've dealt with are Jeff Bezos, who I'm dying to ask a question about, Keanu Reeves, and Angelina Jolie. Okay, so let's start right at the top here with, and we'll start with you, Fulvio. Give me an example of some of the most extravagant trips that you've arranged for clients. I was going to ask that to Fulvio first, yeah.
I have to say that every trip we arrange is a little bit of extravagant. Well, it was extravagant way the fact of realizing that everything can be turned into an experience. Even having a coffee, sipping a coffee in a city like Rome. Now the city where I am now. You were talking about. You're talking about so many famous people, then I found that quite interesting, these famous people that, really enjoy themselves, sipping a coffee in a coffee bar I go every morning. And of course, we are a very good storyteller. And while we were sipping this coffee, we were talking about my life, how I reached out this level. My company was found, by art historians, and then as you said rightly, Rajan, it's art is central for us. And then while I was sipping a coffee, these famous people were about to drink the coffee. I stopped them and said, there is something missing in that coffee. And they were pretty shocked, why? It looks like a simple coffee. That's why. It cannot be simple. You need to put a cream on top of it. Then the bartender, who knows me very well, made the show, and Franco said, "Oh my gosh, the most important ingredients, the cream made by the nonna, behind the scene, and he served, this cream. I put, the cream on the coffee. That now this coffee is the Italian coffee." I usually say, that cream is is the extravagant part of our trip. It's part of the creativity we must put in every single trip we designed.
That's interesting, because what you're basically saying is that that way you offer something that money can't buy. Do you know what I mean? It's like you are offering a personal story, a personal angle. I'm already getting that's a really important thing. It's the storytelling, the narrative that is part of the experience. Yeah.
It is the narrative central. I mean, the foundation of what we do. Definitely, it's not what you see or where you taking them to. It's how you present it. You know, the form is
Okay.
extremely important, as you know. And even you, of course, it's very easy to go to the Vatican City to light the Sistine Chapel up. But what it's more interesting is the story behind that. Then you have to impersonal. I mean, you have to step into the shoes of Michelangelo. You have to turn yourself into Michelangelo, and then telling how you felt, you know, by the time you were frescoing the Sistine Chapel. Sorry, I talked too much. You know, I know.
No. We're going to come back to a lot of that stuff. Now, let's face it, the narrative, Janne, what you know, is all about where you are, the magic of this, you know, being Lapland and that whole Arctic Circle thing. So tell me about that. When you were organising trips? I mean, I can imagine every single one being crazy. But anyway, but give me an example of an extravagant trip that you've had to organise.
Thank you so much, and really privileged to be joining for this interviewing. So thank you, Rajan. Thank you, Fulvio. I would rather, I pretty much agree everything with Fulvio. And instead speaking about the luxury travel, I'm the spokesman of transformative travel. Our task is in general to build a connection between our guests, local people, local culture, local food ingredients, surrounding nature and its wildlife. And at some point there is a click here, and there is the person will have certain impact about the Arctic nature. And when he or she return back to home, there is the deeper experience and connection have born basically. And
again, I'm going to ask a bit more about that. Out of interest, how many affluent Indian guests have you had on your trips?
Quite many, since I think that since I think everybody knows that because it went to the pretty viral, that Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma, they posted one photo of themselves with our beanie on, and after that it was like the hammer pump, and so many in my emails and contacts from India came to our office, and after that it's been great growth with the Indian travelers.
Yeah. So
but you need to agree that you have a wonderful ambassadors for the India in general. It's a big part.
So when you're arranging trips, Janne, for individuals, and they're going to be high net worth individuals, I presume, because it's not cheap, basically, to do, I guess, what you offer. How difficult is it to individualize what they want? How do you work out what you're going to provide for them?
Again, I think I love the way that Fulvio put everything together in his speech, because our task, we when I train my team, for example, I tell everybody that we do not sell anything. Our task is more about to tell about our story, and the guests come visit us and to see our daily lives, daily things, what we do, where we go, what we see, what we experience. So in general, the people are quite curious already when they entering the last wilderness of Europe to the Lapland. So they are really open, even they really demanding. So it is always a challenge to put a great experience with the hospitality together. in the same level what they are used to receive the service.
I want to go into a little bit later on into the actual process of doing that, perhaps getting an inside view of how you what you offer and what you do. But just to go back to you, Fulvio, one thing that occurs to me, by the way, is that if you have quite well-known people and yet you're taking them out into public areas, we're having coffee and stuff, is there an issue with privacy ever?
No, there is no issue. There is a backstage. Of course, on the backstage, there are people working on it very hard and organizing everything, and then we warning everybody up, And I mean, now the bodyguards love working with us because we are very well organized. Even when we step into a coffee bar or any museums, they already know that somebody very important is coming. We never reveal the name because we are not allowed to. And it's but we have a strategy. I mean, and the strategy is also being very flexible. That is crucial. The flexibilities are definitely part of our life. A part of the our job. Then Jan and I do. I think it's. I'm talking about you or Janne as well. I'm sorry about that, but I think it's everything is unpredictable. With famous and not famous people. Everyone is famous for us. Everyone has the same importance. And then and everybody can change his mind at last minute, at last seconds. Or we might not be able to access one room, and then you have not one backup plan. We have 3 backup plans to fall back on. It's that is fundamental for succeeding in our field, in our job. And it's and of course you need to, most of the time you need to manage the people excitement. You have to lower down a little bit the people excitement. When I step into this coffee bar with famous people, and the bartender that you see every day, you meet every day, and then he has a Hollywood star. He got shocked. Sometimes they don't move. Sometimes they're frozen, and then you help them out. You have to be able to help them out. You say, "Hey, Franco, how you doing? Is everything okay? How is your day?" Then you really create the perfect atmosphere at that moment, at that time, at the exam.
Give some history as to how you started this whole thing. What was the original concept? What did you? How did you land on this particular idea of what you offer?
Well, I was in the art history field. It was completely different. It's and the academy, it's very, very, very focus and concentrate on reading books. On writing articles. It's just it's very close-minded. Sometimes I'm not criticizing anybody. It's fundamental. But for me, it was too close. And I felt claustrophobia a little bit, Then I went to London. I studied London. And I experienced the hospitality in London. I came back. A friend of mine introduced me a company, and then I joined this company for 2-3 months. After 3 months, I realized that we could have built, me, my 2 partners, we could have built the company, a company called the Image of Art, the art image, and mainly. Because I enjoyed talking to people. I'm a communicator. I'm a storyteller. And then I really, even now, Rajan, you have to stop me because I need, I have this necessity, to obsession to talk. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, but it's one thing to have a good idea, right? I'm an art historian. Italy is famous for art. Okay, let's get people over. But how do you make that into a success? How do you make it as successful as you've done?
People. I mean, minds together. I mean, creating minds together, working together, communicating together. Sometimes they don't need to communicate. They understand on each other straight away, but they know how logistically, work together and work the magic, make the magic happen. This is very important on selecting the right people. This world is made by fantastic people that machine won't replace, in my opinion. It will help, definitely, but it's the secret is who you have working with you, collaborating with you from the back, and the
So
front.
in any 1 week, how many trips are you control, handling, and is it just you each time, or how does it work?
45 family a day. I'm going to use
Wow.
a term, a word, that I never use. And we have an average. Average, it's not part of this company, actually. This word, this term is not welcome over here. Anyway, but we have an average of 45 family a day.
So therefore you have,
Please.
how many people actually working every day for you?
We have 27 people working in the company. We have the office in Rome, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to reveal the newness. From October 1st, the Milan office is going to be open. It's going to be officialized October 1st.
Okay, so anybody watching at home, get in there quick for your clients. You never know what might happen. Now, Janne, I'm going to ask you a question. Sustainability and affluence and very rich people and luxury in some people's heads don't necessarily go together, because you've got to look after the most important thing is that you're looking after your local environment. Now, affluent people, they might want to fly there in private jets or whatever. I mean, and they're used to maybe a CO2 heavy kind of lifestyle. How do you marry that?
Thank you. Really good question. Most people, most of the guests, they start. If they have not started, they will start to compensate their carbon footprint, their personal. For example, there are the families who fly on private plane. They calculate and compensate their own carbon footprint by seeding the trees on etc. etc. Obviously, it is I see this an excellent opportunity to spread the word of the Arctic, because the most of these affluent people, they have a lot of power altogether. So I feel privileged to speak to them and to share my experiences from my backyard in here.
Yeah. I know. You said that before, that it's a shame that we can't see the northern lights right now, but it's just a bit cloudy, is it, or what?
Yes, it is a little bit early. In around 8 p.m. it's usually starting, and
Right.
now today is the cloudy day. So
right. But what you're saying is that these people, they know what they're getting into when they come to your place. They know that they have to be ecologically completely aware that there's no shortcuts.
no, I don't. I think that already at the starting point, the people who come here, they feel privileged to be enjoying the cleanest air in the world, cleanest water in the earth, and that means we have a cleanest ingredients in our backyard, which is our supermarket. So there are many benefits what you get, what you could not to buy from the supermarket next door. For example, my tap water in here is 10 times better than any Evian in the supermarket there. So this comes directly from the spring.
Do you ever get situations where people ask you for things that you have to say, look, you can't have this, you can't do this?
Yes.
For example?
In Finland, we recycle quite a lot. For example, I know many people, affluent people, wealthy people, when you travel, you use the glass bottles, for example. But when we walk into the nature, you cannot hold the glass bottle of the water because it breaks and the animals will hurt themselves. Same in the cold weather, the glass bottles, they will explode. we use the recycled materials. For example, the water bottles, they can be made out of the recycled plastic, which has a smaller carbon footprint than any glass bottle. And there are many similar things which are great lessons also. And this is the part of the transformative travel, because you learn some new ways to protect the Arctic nature.
I think what you're saying is that no matter how wealthy, how important these people are, they have to have a humility when they are next to nature. That is the lesson, in the sense that you're giving them. That is the unique experience that you're giving them.
I think you spell it correct way. So,
okay, yeah, thank you. Fulvio, what strikes me is that you've got to constantly be inventive and creative with coming up with new things for the people to do that is unique and different for them. And I know one thing you do is you like to find secret galleries or secret places where nobody knows that that's an art gallery or whatever. So tell me about that. How do you do all that?
When I was younger and we started the company, we were knocking everyone's door to find out treasures, hidden gems, and no one want to listen to us. No one seems to pay attention. Now they knock to our door, showing us what fantastic world they have as a secret place. Anyway, but it's I feel like Indiana Jones, sometimes, I'm always seeking for the new. I mean, seeking for the unexpected. I'm really curious person. I'm very curiosity is the foundation, of course, of this. And sometimes, by accident, for instance, I'm telling the story quite interesting. I was having a dinner with a friend of mine in a beautiful palace in one of the poshest place in Florence, and I didn't know that these countess had a spectacular, amazing terrace. Then she knew I didn't know, and she made a surprise. She said, "Fulvio, would you like to come with me a second?" Then we went all the way up. And she wanted me to basically she provide me a key and open this door. I opened the door, and I was basically right over Palazzo Vecchio. I mean, I could touch, the bell tower. It was shocking and impressive.
But do new things come to mind? Do new offers come? I mean, when you talk to other people who work in the same world, do they come up with ideas that, oh no, you can do this next time? How does that? Tell me about that.
Yeah, and it's let's say that it's important that when you can find a place, you have to see that place how it could be after your personal touch. That you have to be good at. You have to see. I mean, there are for instance, some places we discovered that no one seems to be interested. And then we were, and then we focus, we invest not just money but time, technology, in order to share with a customer coming to Italy. And after a few months of working very hard in this place, now the place looks amazing, sensational. It's once in a lifetime place, and you have to also.
What is this place? Tell me a bit more. Where is this? What is it? This place?
I cannot tell you, unfortunately. How come? It's I have to keep it secret. It's.
Wow.
I really cannot tell you, unfortunately. You have to come to Italy next time, and then I will definitely show you.
Okay, that's part of why you're so successful, because you have these little secrets, and that's what people, again, no matter how much money you have, you want to find out what the secret is, don't you? That's interesting. That's interesting. Now, to go back to you, Janne, I know a crucially important aspect of your work is the local community. It's making sure that local people are part of the experience, and that they benefit from the experience, and they teach people who come. Is that fair?
Yes, we have places that the local people, local families, they want to invite, visit at their homes, and in return, of course, we pay them as well for being the opening the gates, especially when we go to the indigenous Sami people, which is a really sensitive area, I would say, that it is something that money cannot buy, but we participate sometimes to the education of the Sami language. We support some indigenous Sami reindeer herders. I am the reindeer herder myself as well, so we speak the same language in that way, and we want to take our guests really to have the most authentic experience you can have, because obviously everybody knows Lapland about the Santa Claus, Father Christmas, but we try to go back with the time and so on, and be more authentic, and to create the real experience. And
So your guests will quite often go into the homes of local people, eat as they eat with them. Would that happen?
yes, and also participating, for example, the feeding the reindeer with the local reindeer herder, just participating to see what is the regular day at work, and which is already quite a big experience, because you herding the reindeer in the middle of nowhere, and you enjoying that is luxury to me, for example. So
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because food wise, I guess it's not particularly good around there if you're a vegetarian. Am I right? Or how is it?
Okay, I'm the fisherman. I am the hunterman. Again, our supermarket is in our backyard. So, yeah, we have many vegetarians in here. We have excellent vegetarian chefs, and we have plenty of berries, plenty of mushrooms, plenty of great fish, and so on. It is depending what you like, and so on. But even many people are vegetarian when they come here. They may not be vegetarian when leaving from here. Let me tell you the reason, because there are many people also um, who became vegetarian because of the carbon footprint. But
Yeah.
uh, the most our food in here is not any processed food, because it is for example, the animals, they run free and fly free. Fish, they grow in streamy waters, and so on. So our food is the most organic you can have, and it has the smallest carbon footprint as well. So in a sustainable way, the food is local and so
Yeah.
on. And yeah, even many vegetarian are willing to taste something. So
Yeah. What's the typical length of stay, Janne, of people when they come on one of your trips?
okay, if we speak about the luxury action in general, there is returning guests. We have around 34% of all guests make a new booking. But at Octola, the private wilderness where I am right now, around 94% of all clients will repeat. And the first stay is usually between 3 and 5 nights, but the second stay will be from 5 to 7 nights. and we have a clients who make already. They make always 2 or 3 bookings at time to securing certain dates. So
Well, one thing that occurs to me again, which applies to both of you, is that with a lot of these affluent guests, especially at the kind of senior corporate level, they're quite often now big health freaks. They're used to going to the gym at least twice a day and having all this kind of stuff that with them. How do you persuade them? Look, you just can't do that here. This is not going to happen here. Does that happen?
Would you like start, Fulvio?
Yes, please, Fulvio. Yes.
Excellent. Well, they have to stop going to the gym when they come to it. Easy. I mean, they don't go. I rarely saw people going to the gym. I mean, I'm joking. Of course, if they go to the gym quite early in the morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock before the experience starts, or late at night. But or they don't go. Well, believe me, rarely I saw customers going to the gym while they're in Italy for a week, 10 days.
Yeah, and I guess when it comes to your experiences, Janne, they're going to have enough physical exercise in different ways, and it's going to be.
Well, now we had one, I would say, one top 10 people as a guest, 5 weeks in a row, and his there was one wish that would like to have the gym because he need to gym exercise. So I promised I will build one. So now I'm building the gym.
Seriously?
Yes. It will be ready in end of November. And what comes to in general to the daily rhythms where you used to do, for example, you eat in India, you eat in Italy, you have your daily dietary, what you follow, but and you send your dietary request beforehand before coming to Lapland. It will be like a coin flip because we have the daytime. You spend a lot of outdooring in a cold weather, basically enjoying and burning a lot of fat. So that means that you like to eat a little bit more fat, a little bit more salty and spicy and so on. And in the evening, after amazing sauna, you feel like going to the sleep, and then you sleep like a baby because the energy what you have burned during the daytime suddenly.
Yeah. We're talking about a very, very unique experience when they come to you, aren't you? So they have to throw everything out the window that they're used to. They have to just go, yep, I submit. I'm going to just be with you. I think that's great. That's really good. In terms of the network that you have, Fulvio, in Italy, I mean, you obviously, do you have hoteliers, restaurateurs, all these people that you connect with to provide the experience?
Oh yes, you have to be connected, especially when in 2020 when no one was working, we were focused and concentrate on expanding the network, calling people when we were secluded, when we were free to go, we experienced ourselves, and we met new people. We convinced them that joining our world is a fantastic thing to do, and being part of this incredible scheme is sensational in some ways. And then I told you it was hard at the beginning. Now it's not hard anymore because you got a name, and you build a name, you build an image for sure.
And so, do you have, before people arrive, again, what's the typical length of time people spend with your trips?
Between a week and 10 days, something like that, minimum a week for sure in Italy. But, the world is getting faster and faster and faster. And then social media helps in some way to get this world faster. I mean, we were talking the day before yesterday that we need to slow down people. We need to convince people to stay longer in one destination. We need not to do this for sure because you cannot stop a process, a working process. Unfortunately, you cannot stop it. You have to fall into the rhythm. At least you have to be as fast as the world is getting, and this is fundamental. And you can tell about social media. I mean, my father, and I am a father too, and now I'm criticizing social media. But probably, if I stop letting my son using the social media, probably it will be like me nowadays with technology, with computer. I know nothing about computer, and then because my mom and my dad didn't let me use the computer when I was a kid. And we don't have to think that we're living in a sick world. I mean, of course we have issues, because we have several issues, but this is the process. It's always been like this. If you read a philosopher 2,000 years ago, they were complaining about new generation because they were using tools that they were not used to. It's natural.
I wonder as well, do you actually tell your clients, look, if you want to get the best out of this, turn your phone off? Do you ever say that? You do say that?
Absolutely, yes. When we access this, one of the palace, one of the private palace in a splendid, fantastic area of the city, for instance, of the city of Rome, we let them drop the phone. Leave the phone on the table before going to see the underground. We don't want them to record or to take pictures. We don't want them to share pictures. This is quite strange and weird, in a world that you should use a picture for sharing with other people. Sometimes it's better not to. It creates the atmosphere. It makes people think that what they're going to see in a bit, it's real exclusive.
See, that's fascinating, because basically we're talking about a world which used to be all about selfie culture, the selfie, so I can show off to my friends, look what I've done, I've gone on this amazing journey. But you're saying, no, this is so special, you can't take pictures. That's that's the ultimate.
That's ultimate.
Brilliant. Now I want to basically, while we've got the time remaining, to just ask, in terms of you provide really specialized services. So if somebody was out there thinking about how could they do something that is not similar in terms of the actual experience, but also very unique and special, what would you say to them? What advice would you give to somebody who wanted to get into this business? Let me start with you, Janne.
To me, it is quite easy, because everything is also something where I come from. So, to me, I try to, instead putting a lot of the hocus pocus, I even try to take the West off, like and take a client to the dip in ice water and ask, you stay there now 3 minutes, and then sauna, and after that you are reborn. So basically, the less is more in this way. As said, this is pretty much about the experimental travel. This is pretty much transformative travel. This is pretty much of everything else but shiny things, and it is the I think that always see effort in the cuisine experience, because food experience is the biggest experience in the world. You have all your senses in usage. You see, you smell, you hear, you taste, you feel, all that combined with the beautiful travel experience with your loved ones, building the best memories in your own hard disk in here. So I use all the flavors and enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody has the amazing gifts that you have of nature where you are, but I understand why you're saying it has to come from you as well to a certain extent. If you're going to build something like you both have built, it comes from your heart, your unique, what you have that's unique and different.
I believe that all people who work in our line of industry, they all bring their heart in the game. So this is the lifestyle. This is not the work. This is the something what we meant to be doing, and sharing our experiences, teaching new things, and make big changes.
Yeah. One last technical question: do you have to sign confidentiality agreements with your clients? By the way, both of you.
Yes.
Yes. So. What would your advice be, Fulvio, to anybody who wanted to build something that's so unique and distinct, like both your businesses?
You have to be very creative. First of all, creativity is essential, it's fundamental, and you gotta know yourself first of all, what you really want to do, and if you really want to share yourself, your experience with other people, and it's all about people. And Jan is right. It's all about people. It's all about networking. Networking is important. Then knowing people, meeting new people. You have to have this necessity. I have the necessity to meet different culture. I love different culture, different food, and food means culture. And you have to find something incredibly interesting, even in little details. And try not to force. Try not to change. In a chemical way. What the nature provides us. Try to value what we have. That's what we do. We have a seasonable something. Experiences, for instance, and then season are very important. You cannot eat a tomato on January. You cannot have an incredible tomato salad or caprese on February. It's not a caprese. And when people ask me, Fulvio, I need you to speed up. I need a faster answer. What is your favorite dish? Carbonara. How long does the chef take, to make a carbonara? 30 minutes. Well, we need 30 minutes to create your carbonara. We need time to do it. Otherwise, there won't be any exclusivity in what you will experience.
It's about care, attention, detail, authenticity, isn't it? I was actually on a recent holiday to the Amalfi Coast, and we made gnocchi. We made gnocchi in a cookery school. So this is anybody can do that. But you're right; it took time, and that is part of what we're talking about, isn't it? It's absolutely perfect, absolutely right. Listen, gentlemen, I could talk to you again or last night in the same bar that I wanted to carry on talking to those two guys before, but time unfortunately does not allow. I'm very, very pleased to have talked to you. Thank you for coming to this, being present at this event. It remains for me to thank you and all the previous guests that I had at this Illume conference. I need to add, by the way, that for one-on-one appointments for Luxury Tribe India autumn/winter events, those appointments begin tomorrow, the 28th of September at 11 a.m. India time. So please go ahead and book your appointments if you have not done that already. It only leaves for me to say it's been a tremendous pleasure to be here at this Illume conference in virtuality. I hope to be there, perhaps in reality, in person, the next time. And maybe these two guys, we might get them out of their comfort zones, if you can call it a comfort zone, and bring them over as well. In the meantime, thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.